It's this man's fault. Look at this seemingly innocent man starting discourse on my timeline. And look, he's right there. Folks, the caught emoji in the chat room. He knows he did wrong. He made a tweet. It's obviously, you know, it was the SK Overwatch, her perfect pairing, like 9 things in a row. And Brian F just like being aghast that SK just like perfect parried everything. Oh my god. Yeah. And then said, reminder that the notion that fighting games are uniquely difficult in a way that other genres don't compare to is BS. Fighting games.
It's been a while, folks.
And this started a lot of discussion. One of the things that always comes up is like fighting games are harder than other games. I don't think so. I think all games are hard to get good at. And then also that when you're new to fighting games are harder than other genres. That's like something that people always say. I don't think that's true either. I think everything is hard when you're new. Before you think about this and you just think I'm a fighting game player, I cannot begin to explain to you how many hours I have in things that are not fighting games. To give you an example, I have like 200 hours or 250 hours in Dota, and I never played Dota. I don't even remember playing Dota, right? I played League for years, tens of thousands of hours probably in shooting games. I have like 1,000 hours in Hunt Showdown randomly. I don't even know how many hours I have in Valorant. I used to play card games super serious. I would grind them like crazy, both paper and TCGs, and I like strategy games. I play everything. I'm about to hit 200 hours in Deadlock, and the game is so new, right? Like I played a lot. Have you ever taught one of your friends how to play League with you or Dota with you before? It's so hard. Like, first of all, you know you're gonna have to carry, and second of all, you have to play 2 games at once because they're gonna be like, what ability do I skill up on Viper? And you're like, you could check using it. I don't know. And then they're like, what do I buy 3rd item Jinx? And you're like, do you have Shred already? And they're like, what's Shred? And you're like, okay, are they tanky or do you need? And they're like, I don't know. They've got a Rockman. And you're like, a Rockman? Okay, all right. You know, obviously very confusing. Imagine trying to teach a friend Rainbow Six Siege. They're like, I don't know how I died. And they're like, okay, this guy shot a hole through the wall before the round started. And then he went over here and did this. And what he's doing is peeking through a crack in 3 walls to shoot you through, like, you know, it's just like the most outrageous angles and shit. It's so hard to teach people how the game works. And same thing, I've been teaching friends Deadlock. My MMR in Deadlock was pretty sweaty. I'm fighting against experienced players who are quite good and then teaching someone, hey, so when you shoot a minion, a soul pops up. And then after that, and then here's how builds work. And also right now, the game doesn't have a build thing in it. So if you want to know what to build on your character or what items to buy or what things to skill, you have to go to this Discord and then use the guide in the Discord and then filter by guide and then go to your character and then click a character and then, yeah. Scar says, playing with Sajam, I got stomped every game, can confirm. I mean, I just feel bad because like when I was playing, if me and SK and Emily are queued up and our MMR is so high, anybody we drag into the match with us, if they're new, is going to have a bad time. All this is to say, teaching a new friend any genre is really hard. I didn't know this, but TFT doesn't have a tutorial. It just like tells you to go play bot matches. I didn't learn this until Jam Crofts made a video on it. That's insane. I didn't know that because the only way I learned TFT was
you're a Sajam fan now?
Playing with a TFT pro backseating me because of the bootcamp. So that is to say, when it comes to other genres of games, right, they don't have good tutorials and they don't have good onboarding generally. And one of the things that people say about fighting games is that our tutorials are bad and that's why they're hard to get into. But like, I think fighting game tutorials compared to everything else, it's like the same. Some of them are worse, some of them are better. But then the other thing is like, oh, fighting games have bad tutorials and single player content. That's something that I see a lot of time. What fucking sick single player content does League of Legends or Dota or Valorant or CSGO or TFT or like all these popular competitive games, like what single player stuff do they even have? And like they're competitive games without single player content and with bad tutorials, which is the same complaints leveled against fighting games. The difference is some of them are team games, so you can work with your teammates, but some of them are not even team games. So that brings me to the greater discussion for me on this IMO. If you're like me and you play non-fighting games, you probably know all the stuff I'm about to talk about. But like if you want to play a fighting game, it costs you $60, and if you want to get the DLC, it's like another 25 or 30, and then you're not playing a team game, and then there's like such a slow content drip and stuff to do in the game outside of like the game itself. Like if you play other games, all these comp games are all free to play, and they all get updates constantly, and in their genre, there's like 3 to 5 options that are all free to play and all getting updated and changing constantly. And if you want, like, you get sick of one, you can just go play another. Whereas fighting games as a genre, we have a lot of things to engage with, but they're all pretty expensive and they all don't have the same kind of content strobe light in your face that modern games sort of like stick to you. They have battle passes and skins and content soaking into your veins 24/7 to keep you engaged with it. You're like, I gotta go do my dailies to get this battle pass done so that I can get tier 47, which is the sticker that I want. And like, I'm not telling you that I need my ADHD addiction scratched for fighting games, because I like fighting games and I play them anyway. But they really don't have a lot of content to make them sticky. If you play League of Legends or TFT, they update every 2 weeks. Street Fighter didn't update for a whole year. Fighting game fans generally don't like updates to the same level. Like, they don't want patches every 2 weeks. But a game like Valorant, balance patches every X amount of time. It's like pretty slow, probably closer to what a fighting game thing is. But Valorant has like new battle passes, new skins, new, like a new map, a new agent, a new, like, you know, they're cranking out content and things in the game and other stuff to do, and like new ranked resets and acts and etc, etc, etc. Even if you get sick of Valorant, you can go play Apex, or you can go try Deadlock, or you can go try insert whatever other free-to-play game you want to play here. That's where they lose the modern gamer to me in a lot of ways. So many of the people who played in the Tekken Slam were like, so is this game gonna ever add anything? They gave me like a ninja outfit a while ago, but like, is there gonna be like a new skin pass? Is there gonna be like a new battle pass that's cool? Are they gonna like do anything, question mark? Is there gonna be a rank reset? Is there gonna be, and I was like, I think there's not gonna be a rank reset, and who knows when the next character is, and I can't tell you. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, this is part of what makes 2XKO the package of the game interesting to a lot of people. The game will be free. It's a game you can play with your team, like you could play with a friend, and there'll be lots of cosmetics, which is why people are interested in the difference in that game compared to other games. And not to say that that model alone will make you super successful, but that's closer to what modern gamers expect. It's like funny because it's the same strategy that every other game is doing in every other market, but it's like a new idea to fighting games. So isn't that, it's just so odd, right? Reading through the thread and all the comments on this, the amount of people who very clearly have never played another genre or forgot what it's like to learn another genre is outrageous. I read, yeah, fighting games, it's just so easy to like tell someone that killing a tower or CSing a creep or shooting someone in an FPS game, like to tell someone how that works and they just get it. Whereas in fighting games, go beat up the other guy is just so archaic and hard to understand and like hard to get. And I was like, you are on drugs. You think telling someone kill these creeps to get money so that you can go to the shop to buy an item, you don't even know what item to buy, so that you can then become more powerful so that you can use your skills to go kill this other guy. You think that that is more intuitive to someone than if you hit someone, their life bar goes down to 0 and you win? You have to be on drugs to think that. I read, oh, in League of Legends, I didn't know what was happening, but at least I had fun playing it when like I did stuff. I learned a few things and it was fun. And I don't think you can have that with fighting games. And I was like, you just don't think fighting games are fun. I mean, you just watch the Slam. They're excited, right? Like they're having good times understanding simple things and like running simple game plans and figuring out basic options in fighting games is like, yeah, like they're just having a great time. Fighting games have lots of that. You just forgot what it's like. Dude, this is such a fucking stupid comment, but I'm happy you wrote it because it's a great example. No, but it's much easier to tell them to deny a minion, left click them, than it is to do a DP, do forward, down, forward punch, but there are also 3 different shortcuts based on your controller and SOCD. Why would I tell someone to do that when I could just tell them to go hit heavy punch? A button. What you're doing is associating, okay, so when you walk up to that person, you need to shoot them and then you need to walk backwards. This is what's called orb walking. So you need to take an auto attack and then take a step back and then auto attack and then take a step back. And there's a time difference between each auto attack. So you can optimize your spacing and positioning around someone by clicking on them and then moving this direction and then doing that between each attack. Like you're doing that and comparing that to like in a fighting game, hit heavy punch. Wow, doesn't now suddenly fighting games sound so easy compared to that? Like you don't need to learn a bunch of fancy commands. You don't have to do that. And in the same way in League of Legends, I promise this is, let me tell you a secret. In these other games, you're also fucking bad. You just don't know it. Like you know you're bad at fighting games, but you just don't know that you're bad at all these other games too. I play Rocket League, and a lot of you guys know Infilament, right? His MMR is like people who play in the RLCS, the Rocket League Pro League. My MMR is people who are like, that's the ball, I should drive at that. Okay, this is the difference in our skill level. And when I play with him, I feel like a child. I literally see the ball and I'm like, I should go hit that. And then there's a guy on the ceiling flipping off of it, tips the ball with the front, flips this way, has it backwards, shoots the ball downwards, throws it to some guy who does like a double, triple flip off the wall, boost, taps it sideways. And then I'm like, I see the ball. I should drive at it. That's my level of skill in the lobby. But I know that. I'm like, I can accept that there is a ceiling that I'm just not at, and it's incredibly impressive and cool, and I'm just bad at it. And I'm not going to tell you learning Rocket League is easy. People are just bad at every game, right? Like, it's not their fault. And in fighting games, you can simplify and tell people simple plans and objectives and let them learn that kind of stuff. In the same way that in other genres, it's the same thing. You know, Punk teaching Sykkuno tells him not to anti-air with DP and just says hit back plus medium punch. SK wants to do uppercut motions to anti-air people, but I said when someone jumps at you, you should just do down plus heavy. That's it. I'm DJ, hit back plus heavy kick. Fighting games offer things that the other genres don't as well. Extremely fast match times. You know, one of the things that people complain about, this is a common one, is that in fighting games, you have periods of downtime where you don't get to do anything. Like someone will say, you just get hit and you get comboed for like 5-10 seconds and you can't play the game. There's no interaction, right? In other games, you don't have this. Like when you die in a Valorant round, sometimes you sit there and watch for a minute or two each round, right? Or if you play Deadlock, the respawn timers by the end of the game are like 70 seconds. Even the stuff about like, you know, fighting games are not a team game, so you have to take personal responsibility. I'm going to tell you the truth. If you decide to get good at any game, team game or not, you will inevitably need to take personal responsibility. The other games, I promise you, it is on you. Sure, you can blame your teammates or whatever, but fighting game players also never blame themselves when they lose. And inevitably, if you want to get good at a team game, you yourself must get better. You are the X factor in every match. You're the part of the match that you can control. You have to get better. And if you don't take any personal accountability or like focus on your own improvement, then like, yeah, you're not going to get better. It doesn't matter if the game's a team game or a solo game or whatever. None of them are easy to get in. I literally, in the last few weeks, I taught people Deadlock, a shooter MOBA that's super complicated. And people who literally play MOBAs and shooters are like, this game's too fucking hard. Same thing with TFT. I watched everybody play TFT because of the Box About Bootcamp. So watching people learn fighting games and then also learn TFT and then also learn Deadlock at the same time. And everybody in all three of them was like, this is too fucking hard. Learning all of them sucks ass. I've taught so many new players League of Legends. It shit sucks ass. It sucks ass to learn every game. You don't have to believe me, but I prefer fighting games because I don't have to rely on teammates. And that's what I'm saying. I think a lot of people, that's not an uncommon feeling either. The worst feeling to me about playing a MOBA is not playing a MOBA and losing. I'm not mad if like we went out there and we played against a team that was just a fucking bunch of base and we got cooked. The team games that are most frustrating to me always are games that are extremely winnable or even favorable for my team. And then my teammates get upset or they just get mad or they like don't want to play as a team and they just decide to give up or not care or like not try anymore. Somebody who tries but is bad at a game, I'm happy to play with their whole life. Someone who like doesn't give a fuck and like stops trying and like doesn't care about the game or doesn't care about getting better, but is better than that other person, I would rather not play with them. Like I only need you to function for like 20 minutes. I don't need you to give a fuck about your life, any other part about the day, but my game with you in a MOBA or a team game. Like the rest of the day, if you want to bed rot and not drink any water and not have any snacks or like, you know, take care of yourself, whatever, man. Right now, on the Rift, I need you to be the best version of you that you can be, okay? I need you to go out there and hit those creeps and buy those items and kill those enemies, okay? Like, we gotta lock the fuck in. The minute you're off the Rift, you wanna do whippets or whatever with your homie, like whatever, you wanna get some fentanyl, I don't care, man. Like, just do what you gotta do. But the minute we're on the Rift, I need you to lock in. You could call me slurs, but if you're gonna end the game with their Nexus exploding, whatever, man. Like, just we gotta make it. I don't care. Just clock in. I'll report you after the match. But in the match, I'm same team. Okay? You could do drugs, but let's get Baron and then push together and get their inhib first. PEMDAS. We got an order of operations, this motherfucker, and I need you to save these whippets until after the Nexus is dead. All right, let me get this shit.